Hello everyone, welcome back to the SEGAthon. This is Samurai Snake.
And this is Tanner.
And this is Panzer Dragoon, one of the forgotten masterpieces on the Sega Saturn.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, we are doing this for the SEGAthon for charity. So we will be continually plugging our charity stuff. You will be able to hear it as well as hear us talk about any donations we get, and we will be posting where you can get them, get incentives, and get donations going in the description, which I'll grab up here for people.
And from the Donate to Make Snake Suffer Fund, I'm going to be playing the game on hard mode, which basically amounts to having 0 credits to start with.
Ooh,
so I'll be
that's
able to
what
pick
that
up,
was.
Yeah, so I'll basically be able to pick up credits as I go along, given I shoot down enough enemies. So let's get in there.
All right.
For what it's worth, the game's story takes place in a post-apocalyptic world with ancient technology left over, in a world filled with biomechanical mutants, and all of this is centered around a place called a tower, which basically is a place for a dragon to basically kick all of humanity's ass.
That makes sense, yeah.
And basically, the world's only hope is an armored blue dragon, which is the dragon that we fly and control throughout the game. This has a PC port and an Xbox port, though you have to beat Panzer Dragoon Orta in order to be able to unlock it.
Oh, that's cool. I like that when they embed the prequel in it. That's always fun.
Yeah. It was either pick up Orta and then complete that game, or just run it in the emulator, which I find emulates just fine.
I think Panzer Dragoon Orta was not just announced, but a little while ago, announced for compatibility with Xbox One X. So you can play this on your Xbox One now, too. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. If I only had an Xbox One, that is.
Yeah. There was a couple times where it was Amazon Prime Day, and they're like, you can get it for $200. And I'm like, that's a pretty good deal. And then I started thinking, and I'm like, but why? I'm like, is there a reason why I'd want to? And like, because now that I got a good computer, if I want to play one of those games, I'll just play it on the computer. So
yeah, it's the only games.
I did actually. Speaking of Xbox, though, where I was, Tom yelled at me to get in this call, and I was like, well, it's a good thing I just got home. I was actually just went to a garage sale and picked up an Xbox 360 for $70.
Nice.
Because, hey, you can never have, and because the one Xbox 360 I have is super old and busted and probably gonna die. So I said, you know what? I can at least get another Xbox 360, because there's some original Xbox and 360 games that I actually want, but like nothing on the Xbox One.
I mean, the only game that I'd really want on the Xbox One, games are Super Hot and also Cuphead, but I could just get those on a PC if I save up enough money for a supercomputer.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. The nice thing, though, about the Xbox One backwards compatibility is that every time they announce a new game to be backwards compatible on Xbox One, they actually also release a digital version for Xbox 360 so that you can just get those games digitally there. So now you can get Orta digitally on the 360.
Oh, it's available digitally on the 360?
Yeah, every time they announce a game is backwards compatible for the Xbox One, it's also available digitally for the Xbox 360. So that's cool.
Oh, nice. Because
it all goes to the same server, so it's just a case of letting you pick it up.
Sweet. And it's playable on the 360 digitally, too?
Yes.
Nice. I will fork over my money in order for high hopes that we will see Panzer Dragoon again on the Switch.
You know what? Panzer Dragoon is a series that I felt is not dead. It just feels dormant. Like, it's one of those that it's just a case of, oh, we haven't seen a game, but it doesn't mean that it's never going to happen again. It's just, They don't have any. Well, wasn't there the one Xbox, I think, one game that was meant to kind of be a sequel?
Yeah, I think it was the same people from Team Andromeda, the people that developed Panzer Dragoon, made somewhat of a spiritual successor called Crimson Dragon, and it utilized the Kinect.
I thought it was Crimson Skies, but yeah. Well, I think it utilized the Kinect, but you could play it without it to be a good game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cutscene here. This is surprising.
Yeah. They really fleshed out Panzer Dragoon's world in 1 and 2, and that all sets everything up for a game which you're probably never going to see again because Sega lost the source code, Panzer Dragoon Saga. It's quite possibly one of the best RPGs that I've ever played and the most unique experience that has ever been developed.
That's interesting. And they lost the source code?
Yeah.
That's why, like, preservation is such an important thing for video games that people don't even think about. Because, like, a movie comes out and you can just share a file and it's fine. But without the source code for a game, man, you're in trouble unless you completely remake it like Square Enix did with... They had to remake Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 for losing the source code of those.
Wow.
Yeah, and, like, they did a really good job. Most people don't even know. But, yeah, so it's like, unless you're Square Enix and can do that, you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah, or I guess if you have crazy dedicated Sonic fans or Saturn fans, they'll just disassemble the games for you.
Honestly, yeah, that's true. And, yeah.
So what all has gone on here is that the original writer for the Blue Dragon died in battle and said telepathically in Panzerese, a made-up language by one of the developers, to not let the Dark Dragon go back to the tower or else the world is doomed.
Alright, that makes sense, yeah. Let's see how much it costs to buy Panzer Dragoon on eBay. Answer, brand new, lowest price, $5,000. Pre-owned, lowest price, $900.
I saw one this morning for $50. Buy it now pre-owned.
Oh wow, okay. That seems like a good one that people probably jumped on very fast.
That deal's gone now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, darn. Oh well. I can always just see if I can find a disc from one of my local retro gaming groups. But
apparently, Panzerese is based on ancient Greek, Latin, and Russian.
yeah, it's not exactly like entirely fleshed out by the developers, say like Albed from Final Fantasy X.
Well, Albed, though, is just in English and then moved the letters around, so that's arguably not a language, but a cipher.
Yeah.
But,
so, basically, this can be compared to Star Fox, because this is a rail shooter after all, but you can rotate your field of view 360 degrees.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so pay attention to your radar for any yellow dots that pop up. But also make sure you're facing forward, because you don't want to collide with any objects.
Oh, so you're actually like... Okay, so it's not totally on rails, you are moving around. Okay, so yeah, Star Fox. Star Fox with 360. So it's basically Star Fox Zero before Star Fox Zero was a thing.
Yeah, I guess that would be a valid comparison.
Yeah, people are talking about there are repro discs as well, so you can play them on the original software. Those and you know what? Honestly, repro discs are programmed to work, so it's a case of yeah, if you don't mind it being technically a ROM hack on a disc, dubiously legal, of course. Those work fine, but of course, there's. It's definitely a case of the money will never go to Sega anyways, so it's fine, but it's also still, again, legally a bit dubious at this point.
Yeah, but if it's a game like Panzer Dragoon Saga, or some other high-expensive game like Little Samson on the NES, which is probably like $2,000 now, I'd say go with a repro cart and stiff these resellers with the bill.
Yeah, so that's why it's like movies don't have this problem. Like you can't just burn and sell copies of movies because, well, you can just usually buy like almost no movies have no way to not buy them nowadays, right? Like it's movies are they're always in circulation. Games are totally different, where once a game is done, it will never be in circulation again, especially if, for example, they've lost the source code or something. So yeah, that becomes problems there. And it says, XMax360 says, Sega does encourage ROM hacks, but ROM hacks are free. You don't pay for ROM hacks. You are still technically paying a person who is not Sega for a copy of the game, and that's why the legality of it is still technically dubious.
Do a dragon roll, says XMax. Let's see if I can remember or figure out how in the world to do that, if at all.
Dragon rolls are absolutely delicious. I do recommend everyone picking one up the next time they go out for sushi. That's where they like put a little bit of panko breading on the sushi, and then it's also spicy. Oh, it's delicious.
Huh. All right, first boss with the boss music, which is kick-ass too.
Well, I mean, I feel like we're doing the SEGAthon, so there's very few games where we can't say that.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the one thing that like Sega and, you know, almost all the big companies, but like especially Sega is like, they're known for that, those really good songs, right?
Yeah. Especially during the Saturn era with Panzer Dragoon, because the soundtrack is completely different and has a completely different tone for Panzer Dragoon Zwei and Saga.
So yeah, you can buy Panzer Dragoon Orta digitally for Xbox 360 or Xbox One for $11. So that is a much better choice than paying way more for the originals.
Yeah, or technically you could just go with the Japanese version, because there is a little story to this game, but you're not going to understand the subtitles. But honestly, this is just about a dragon shooting stuff up.
Yeah, gotta be honest, I do miss the era where you could buy a Japanese game and there's enough English in it in like just menus that you can just play it. That was a good era. Nowadays games have too many words.
Yeah. Alright, where is that one spot that I have to fire in order to take this thing down? I'm just gonna lock on. And there we go! Episode 1 is done.
Wow, that was fast. I'm waiting to see. Wow, yeah, there it goes.
Oh yeah, the last time we saw Panzer Dragoon was in SEGA All-Stars Racing Transformed, which is coming up next.
Yes. Actually, speaking of, let's go over all the different Panzer Dragoon games so that we can sort of see how many there are, because I'm surprised at how many there were. Panzer Dragoon, this one, in 1995. Was ported to Windows in 1997, and in 2006 adapted slightly for Sega's Japanese PlayStation 2 Ages 2500 series. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was actually the other one that I was going to run, but when streaming I couldn't get the PS2 emulator running flawlessly with that one.
There was Panzer Dragoon R-Zone, released also in 1955 for the Tiger R-Zone. It was one of the few launch titles Sega licensed for it. There is no plot, simply a nameless character and an armored dragon attempting to keep a dark dragon from reaching a tower while shooting and dodging robots. And is an R-Zone an LCD game?
Yes.
No, it's a VR
like
thing. It is a portable VR headset game thing. It's basically a Virtual Boy. Huh.
Except it's kind of LCD-ish, because you put it over your head and you see everything projected onto one screen.
That's interesting. After that was Panzer Dragoon 2 Zwei, also known as Panzer Dragoon 2, for 1996. Then after that was Panzer Dragoon Mini, released only in Japan for the Sega Game Gear. After that was Panzer Dragoon Saga for the Saturn in 1998. That is not a rail shooter. Wait, is the only Panzer Dragoon game that is not a rail shooter combining traditional role-playing elements with 3D shooting elements of previous games. That's really cool. Shame we'll never get that again.
Like, it's a combination of action and turn-based RPGs. You just move around a radar system, and you have to attack enemies from a specific weak point.
Huh, that's interesting. So according to many game critics, it is one of the greatest games of all time. Quote Wikipedia with 3 sources. As Sega shifted its focus on the next console, the Dreamcast, it had a very limited run outside of Japan, attracting a cult following. It has not been re-released and now is a rare collector's item. After its release, Sega disbanded Team Andromeda. Futatsugi left Sega and joined Konami, and other staff moved to Sega teams, including Smilebit. Now, there was then Panzer Dragoon Orta, which is the latest one. The game had large amounts of unlockable content. Let's see here. You could ride different dragons, be different riders, use different cheats. The PC version of the first Panzer Dragoon is included in its entirety. The game also possesses a vast in-game dictionary. Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
And full motion video from the game itself is unlocked for casual viewing, as well as the intro and ending videos for Panzer Dragoon, Panzer Dragoon Zwei, and Panzer Dragoon Saga. Other media, soundtrack CDs were used. Tokyo Pop released the Panzer Dragoon Orta soundtrack. I have not heard the name Tokyo Pop in ages. An anime adaptation of the first game was released, with the story being slightly altered to feature a female heroine named Kyle. That's a guy's name, but sure. Trying to save the world because she becomes bonded to the Black Dragon. The second game got an art book called Die Welt von Panzer Dragoon Zwei, or The Art of Panzer Dragoon Zwei. Zwei meaning 2, of course. There was also a song that was not included in the soundtrack, but the US version's TV commercials. It is Violet, performed by Bones Domingo.
Huh.
And then finally, Sonic and All Stars Race Transformed features a track based on Panzer Dragoon. Oh, additionally, the Worlds Unite Archie crossover between Sonic and Mega Man features Panzer Dragoon characters, concepts, and setting.
Yeah, that crossover went down very well. It was way too bloated with too many characters.
You know what? Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I loved it, but at the same time, I'm like, some of them have 2 lines. Also, there was 2 characters named Ryu, and I'm happy that we got a gag of Sonic calling him the other Ryu.
Alright. These worms can shoot slime that hurts you, so you're going to want to shoot all the bits of slime so you don't get hit.
I gotta say, I am happy we finally reached an era where indie games are starting to do low poly 3D as their graphical style. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I just love how this looks.
Yeah.
Like, it just looks like what I want video games to be. So I'm happy we may see a new game in this style. That's the nice thing, where it's like with how indie games work, and that's why I'm super big fan of like Kickstarter and stuff, is you can get people just being like, I want to make something like this.
Yeah. It's something I kind of want to see from the developers that made Sonic Mania next, kind of. A game made with Sega Saturn style graphics.
Well, they did say in an interview just recently that they do want to make a 3D game next, the same team, and I'm like, yes, do it. Whether it's, you know, retro style or whether it's even new style, like, man, just let them have it, and I'm sure they can rock it.
Yeah. Okay, firing missiles? No way. Second boss is the Dark Dragon, the very same enemy we're trying to stop from going to the tower. But he was pretty easy to take down. And he's gonna piss off for now. "21 enemies missed. No extra credits."
Oh, so it's based on how many you have to get a certain ratio for how many you hit. I see.
Yeah, like I got close to 100 and I got 2 extra credits. If you get 100, I believe you get 3 extra credits. It's much easier to take down these flying airships if you just mash the attack buttons.
Apparently, Panzer Dragoon was originally intended to be released on the Sega 32X.
I believe that.
Hi, Smoothies. I didn't get accepted into Hardword. You'll be a wizard one day.
Over here. I tried testing dragon-only mode, and it is very, very hard.
What's the difference in dragon-only mode?
You cannot fire regular shots from your gun. Everything is lock-on.
Oh! Yeah. That'd be difficult. Because, like, I see you lock on every now and then, but I see your primary attack is pretty much the gun.
Yeah. If you try to use dragon-only mode, you're not going to get far, because there are times when you definitely need your gun in order to take down other enemy shots.
I do wonder, for an on-rail shooter like this, does it have speed runs? Is that a thing? I've always kind of wondered.
Imagine it might, given that this has a mode called Wizard Mode. Basically means you go through the levels very, very fast.
Okay. The speed run for this game is 34 minutes.
Oh man.
Also, yes, I was just now looking at the chat. I was doing research. Also looking at our donations, of course. Checking to make sure that we're getting any. Reminder, we have a whole bunch of stuff you can put your money towards, such as the final character for Phantasy Star 4 to be taken to the final fight. Currently, Raja is winning with $36.51, and Demi and Kyra are locked into second together, and Han and Grizz have nothing. And we also have a battle going on for which version of Knights I'm going to be playing. Currently, the Saturn version is winning with 75 buckaroos, with the PS2 version at 31. We also have the bidding war for which song Richie will sing at the end of the game. $2 going towards Dreamstream's the original, and $10 towards the Sweet Snow version. And of course, we also have the bid war going on for Sonic Mania Plus, being which character are we going to be playing as? Sonic and Tails have only $4 each. Knuckles, Ray has $21. Knuckles has $33, and Mighty with a mighty $111. We also have a $200 gold to unlock and Knuckles mode. It's at $178.80 out of $200, so it's almost there. No, I mean the PS2 version of Knights, because the PS3 version has two modes, one based on the original version and then one based on the Japanese-only PS2 re-release. Don't question me on Knights, I know too much about that series.
Oh boy, there goes one credit. Well, it means it gets get my health back anyway, so...
So you're playing this on a Saturn emulator, correct?
Yes.
So do you perchance have save states for this emulator?
Yes, it's definitely possible to save state in SSF, though I haven't exactly tried it or tested it. There's also level select that I can use just in case.
Oh, fair does. I was kind of worried that this would be one of those games where it's like, oh, did you get a game over? Back to the first episode. Gotta do it all over because, boy, that sucks.
Yeah, this isn't Comic Zone, thankfully.
Yeah. Oof. It's not that old of a game. I'm looking up some more Panzer Dragoon stuff. Apparently, there was a recent Panzer Dragoon 20th anniversary vinyl album.
Yeah, I remember
That's cool.
Hearing about that.
Vinyl albums are cool for people who like their vinyl albums. I have a big record player, but it's like not something that I super would go out of my way to buy. I think more people buy them for the actual like art aspect than the actual playing, but maybe I'm super wrong and people do listen to it.
I mean, that's what I would buy the Afterburner vinyl for. I like the cover art for the vinyl.
Yeah, definitely getting that stuff framed is always super cool. And having like the disc out of it slightly, like it's not just the art, but then the disc is slightly out. Like that looks super cool. I don't know if anyone actually listens to it, but hey, it's you do you, man.
Down here. Some of these small enemies require lock-on, especially when you're getting shot at in all directions.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, next up, I should be coming on a roundabout with a bunch of turrets. Or some guys hiding over there. There's the roundabout.
Apparently, there are some additional moves in the game.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm just reading here. For one, there's a thing called the rolling attack. Whenever your health gauge is so low that it flashes red, you'll be able to perform a roll. While facing forward, simply double tap one of the directional buttons on the D-pad. This may not seem particularly useful, but if you hold down the shoot button to use your homing lasers during a roll, you'll automatically lock onto all enemies in sight.
Huh.
If you alternatively tap different directions on the D-pad, so left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, you can essentially roll constantly, and thus can eliminate continuous waves of lasers at nearby enemies if your timing is good. Presumably, I cannot speak. Presumably, this evolved into the berserk attacks of later games. There's a dodge button. If you tap one of the directions on the D-pad while facing forward, then quickly tap the direction again and hold it down, your dragon will lunge in that way. So if you have to like press hold really quickly. So that's a thing. And then finally, if you press L and R simultaneously while facing forwards or backwards, the camera will do a full 180-degree turn instead of the usual 90. So you can do a quick turn by pressing both.
So you can. Alright, let's see. Coming up behind me should be the boss. Or in front of me, rather.
I know you were joking about the roll, but no, there is actually a roll, and it is apparently super good.
Okay, so that's why I rolled during one of my testing streams. Okay, these two things are going to link up together, and you're going to have to make a lot of rapid-fire shots into the middle section of this, while dodging all these, I don't know what you call these, flaps? Or wings? I don't know. Alright, first phase down. Alright. The second phase, this boss likes to jump a lot, so it's going to require a lot of lock-on and a lot of concentration for one of its attacks, because it's going to fire missiles forward, and once it does that, switch to facing forward.
I will say that radar that's on there seems to be really good. Like, I normally don't honestly use radars in games just because they're not something that I don't know, like, they're a bit difficult for me to parse, but like that radar, I'm looking at it, and like I can 100% understand everything about it, and that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And just I think it's the fact that it shows your field of vision. That is such an important thing. And yet some of them don't do that. I guess it's not as much of a radar, but I guess it is, but...
Yeah. I haven't played very many rail shooters, but this is like one of the most useful radars that I've seen in a rail shooter.
Well, because most of them, though, it's everything that you see is your entire field of view. There's no turning around. But for a game where you have to turn around, like, that's so necessary. All right, so
Shoot
I'm
that
just reading here
missile
a few more secrets of this game. If you finish the game on normal without dying once, you get some alternative guns, one of which seems to fire devastatingly fast, and the other one is a more powerful but slower one. If you finish the game on hard mode without dying once, you'll unlock 2 kinds of homing lasers. Let's see here. What does it say? These alternate lasers seem fairly similar in strength to your normal lasers, so the difference is aesthetic. You can get purple ones or light blue ones by doing that. These are not in the PC or Xbox versions of the game, sadly. Only in the original Saturn, so that means it's not in the Orta version either. If you finish the game on easy with a 100% shot down rate, you'll be able to play as the Dragon without the Rider, but you'll need to enter a button combo first. As you've been playing without the Rider, you can no longer use the gun. Yes, we talked about that.
And that's the boss. Down.
There's a lot more sci-fi to this, and I kind of like it. It's a cool aesthetic, bit of mix of fantasy and sci-fi, which, you know, was definitely a more unique aesthetic you didn't see back in the day that this came out.
Do we even see a whole lot of that today besides Final Fantasy?
You definitely see a bit of it, but it's definitely not something you see a lot of nowadays still.
Yeah. Hey, I got 1 extra credit for a 92 point whatever shot down ratio.
Cool.
Right, and the game starts to kind of kick your ass here because you're going to fight a lot of enemies that fire at you pretty fast. Oh, crap, it ran into me. That's another thing that happens in this area. Oh man, these enemies, they hide and then they shoot you. Oh geez.
So it's interesting, I mean, it might have just been him being himself, but Smoothie said that he's surprised that there's more games like this than just Star Fox, but I guess that's a question of, I don't know how many different sort of space rail shooters there actually are.
I mean, I know Konami had one in arcades, I forgot what it was called, but there was also Galaxy Force 2, that SEGA made that.
See here, it's not a rail shooter. What would it be labeled as?
Shmup / rail shooter, because it looks like a rail shooter. Galaxy Force 2.
Let's see, a 3D rail shooter. Let's see here.
All right.
I'm just reading some of the ones. I like how it lists Asura's Wrath as one. I mean, fine, there's sections. I wouldn't call it 100%. That Yoshi's Safari, I mean, again, you're not wrong.
Alright, how in the world do you do the dragon roll again?
You double tap left and right on the D-pad.
Oh, okay.
And you want to hold down the lock-on button during it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to wait on doing that.
Let's see here. Maybe I said that wrong. Simply double tap one of the directional buttons. Yeah, that's what it is.
Speed up. Thank you. Yeah, I should be coming upon the boss pretty soon. Yes, here we go. This boss is one of the ancient pieces of technology revived, and he can shoot his arms at you.
Let's see what this dude looks like. I have to wait for him to appear.
So I don't think lock-on's going to be very helpful here, because you have to target his arms. And you cannot lock onto them, otherwise he'll deflect them. And you'll also need to fire and cancel out his shots that he fires. Oh no! He fired one of his arms. I was gonna fire a second one. Alright, here we go. Alright, there go one of his arms. So much easier to... Oh man. Shoot. No! I took out his arms. And then I died. Alright, let's try that again. I'm at least happy that I'm getting all my health back, though. It's not to say much.
That's true. People are pressing F to pay their respects.
Rest in peace, White Dragon and Kyle.
No, no. Kyle's the name of for only the anime, I think.
They call him Kyle in the manual.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Wow. They on the website PanzerDragoonLegacy.com, they have the entire story of Panzer Dragoon written out in like a 8-chapter story. Okay, it is still Kyle, but it's spelt normally, unlike the female Kyle that is written
oh my gosh.
Khyle or whatever. Not Kylie, but it was Kyle.
Okay, I just missed a bunch of enemies there. So I was firing in the wrong direction. Alright. Goodbye! Walk onto all these. Fire away!
I will say it's amazing that Panzer Dragoon seems to have one of the most intense fan sites ever. That's cool. I'm very happy when a series has just a repository of... When it has a resources button, you know you're good.
Yeah, it has one of the most passionate fandoms out there.
They have entire game scripts. They have all the game text, all the data from the games. Wow. That's incredible. I love fan bases.
I believe that site also has fan theories about the story of Panzer Dragoon's saga and, like, who the dragon is supposed to be, I think.
Tanner, I gotta ask, did you pick up Soccer Wars yet? I had to ask since I'm seeing the Sears symbol on the side of the screen. I have not picked it up, mostly because it's a case of, I don't have to pick up Wii games anymore. Wink, wink. I have Wink, ways of Wink, dealing with Wink that. But also it's just because I have so many games I'm playing right now. That's a game that I think because they did confirm a new Soccer Wars that, that was a big cool thing. That when that happens, I'm gonna probably, that's what I like to do is whenever a new game is about to come out, I like to prepare for it by playing a game. That's like right now, my next game on my bucket list of games to play is Resident Evil 4, which I've never played, but everyone says it's amazing, so gotta play that. Because Resident Evil 2 remake featuring Leon, you gotta play it, right? So that's sort of what I like to do. That's my shtick is instead of playing, whatever, I like to prepare for stuff. It's kind of like a backlog, but it's almost a forward log. It's weird.
Right, I almost got hit by his arm that I blew off.
I have not played 4 because I have not played any aside from the latest Resident Evil. I know. So, I couldn't play him as a kid. I had a very, you can't play games rated M family, but also I was a little baby, so I wouldn't have been able to anyways. But now I'm not as much of a baby. Or I could at least use my screams to get YouTube money.
Alright, now his head is vulnerable, but this laser that he fires from his eyes are a pain in the ass because of the Saturn limitations. They move so slowly, and it's very hard to tell the depth perception with them.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Come on.
I can't believe you remember my Slender LP, Green Viper. I don't even remember that. That was so long ago.
There we go! He's dead.
Yay! And so these are all like the end of chapter bosses, right? There's no mid-chapter bosses?
No mid-chapter bosses.
Gotcha.
And if you were playing the easy difficulty, this is where the game would end.
Oh, it's one of those games? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if you want to get the real ending, you have to beat the game on normal or hard.
I kind of get that, but at the same time, I'm sort of like, if someone just wants to play on easy but get through the game, I just say let them get through the game, but I have two opinions on that. But I feel like for a game this short, it's fine. It's not like you're playing a huge, 80-hour RPG, and it's like, oh yeah, sorry, the last 20 hours, you have to be on normal yet. That would suck.
Yeah. And I got 1 credit back.
Hey, nice.
That at least makes up for what I lost. Episode 5. There are going to be a lot of battleships that I'm going to have to shoot down, and all that is going to be done with rapid fire.
Koptani says that's like me with Kingdom Hearts and Pokemon, especially the latter. Yeah, I've been playing through Kingdom Hearts on the PS4 collection in prep for KH3 and Pokemon, preparing from White 2 up for my new playthrough of Ultra Sun. Well, you're going to get some bad games in that mix, I'm sorry to say. White 2 is kind of going to be the pinnacle, but hey, that's my opinion.
Alright, these things are going to come out of the forest.
Alright, they have a quiz up on the Panzer Dragoon website, and I think we need to take it, even though I know pretty much nothing about it, and you can answer. Okay, question 1. Who was the main female character in Panzer Dragoon Saga? Was it Cray Woman, Orda, Everin, Azel, or Faye?
Azel.
Azel. Okay. Question 2. Which of these locations was destroyed in Panzer Dragoon Zwei? The Geralt Desert, Elpis, Uru, the village of Canis, or the Forest of Mutation?
The village.
Alright. Question 3. Who was the Dragon Mare cavalry leader? Everin, Elder Ponta, Orta, Mobo, or Abad?
Orta?
All right, question 4. How many times did Edge fight Atlam and Azel in Panzer Dragoon Saga? 0 through 4. Pick your number.
2.
Which of the followings is not an item in Panzer Dragoon Saga? Kulia Dung, D Unit 10, Berserk Medis, Apple of Zoa, or Elixir Minor?
Elixir Minor.
What Panzer Dragoon game did the Great Fall take place in?
What, the Great Fall.
I mean, all the games are the answers, so it's one of them.
Oh, okay. Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Okay. How many Panzer Dragoon games were released on the Sega Saturn? The answers are 1 through 5.
There were... Oh man, gotta dodge. 3.
Okay. Yeah, Flame, I'll give you a 15-minute warning. Don't worry. Question 8. How many episodes were in the main game of Panzer Dragoon Orta? 9, 5, 7, 10, or 42?
7.
Question 9. Which of the following items restores Berserk points in Panzer Dragoon Saga? Dome Gate Key, Blast Chips, Relic Shoes, Berserk Micro, or Elixir Minor?
Berserk Minor.
Well, it's Berserk Micro.
Oh, Berserk Micro.
Which settlement was destroyed by the Empire on the 3rd disc of Panzer Dragoon Saga? The town of Zoa, the Caravan, Yelliko Valley, the Secret Stronghold, or the Campsite?
The Campsite.
Which of the following characters, spoilers, died at the end of Panzer Dragoon Orta? Edge, Everin, Orta the Dragon, or Azel?
What were the choices again?
Edge, Everin, Orta the Dragon, or Azel?
Everin.
Who of the following said the quote, "After all this, he is still with me"? Lundi, Azel, Orta, Abad, or the 7th Emperor?
What were the choices again?
Lundi, Azel, Orta, Abad, or the 7th Emperor?
Orta.
Okay. I see people talking about Fist of the North Star in the chat. What's going on? Debating about starting after Kiwami or the... what are they talking about? I don't know. Question 13. Which of the following enemies were not encountered on the first disc of Panzer Dragoon Saga? The Gigra, the Arachnoth, Baldurs, Striders, or Sestrin?
Oh gosh. Quizzing me on
This is
years-old
the-
knowledge that I haven't played Saga in like a couple years.
I want you to know that this is the easy quiz on the website.
And that boss is down. What were the
Gigra,
the moth? The
Or,
Arachnoth.
it's Gigra, Arachnoth. Okay.
Arachnoth, okay.
What was Panzer Dragoon Saga called in Japan? The Great Fall, Orta, Panzer Dragoon Shooter, Panzer Dragoon 3 Dry, Panzer Dragoon Edge, or Azel, Panzer Dragoon RPG?
Azel Panzer Dragoon RPG.
Which of the following characters murdered the captain of Excavation Site 4? Arwin, Zastava, Edge, Abad, or Kramen?
Edge.
Which of the following creatures was not a final boss in a Panzer Dragoon game? The Dark Dragon, Abad's Mare, Sestrin Exis, the Guardian Dragon, or Atom?
The second choice.
Abad's Mare?
Yeah, Abad's Mare.
Okay. What constructions of the ancients controlled the environment? Satellites, memory orbs, Guardian Fires, Cradles, or The Tower?
The Tower.
Just so you know, it doesn't give the answers till you go all the way through. What was the final playable dragon form in Panzer Dragoon Saga? The Solo Wing, the Golden Dragon, the Arm Wing, the Light Wing, or the Basic Wing?
The Light Wing.
Which of the following Dragon Riders was not playable in any Panzer Dragoon game? Azel, Orta, Lundi, Edge, or the Sky Rider?
I'd say, as Azel. Oh, shoot, kamikazes!
Oh, those suck. What being entered the body of Edge at the start of Panzer Dragoon Saga? The Spirit of an Ancient, the Heresy Program, the Messenger of the Gods, the Sky Rider, or the Divine Visitor?
The Divine Visitor.
Okay. 21. How many discs did Panzer Dragoon Saga come on? Answers are 1 to 5.
4.
Who was the director of Panzer Dragoon Orta? Akihiko Mukiyama, Clayton Vorlick, Walt Disney, Yu Suzuki, or Yuji Naka? These are terrible answers.
Walt Disney, really? It's obviously the first one. The one that...
Yeah, it's the one that is Japanese and also not another Sega guy. Which of the following ships belong to the Black Fleet? Kray's Elite Guard, Grig Orig, Shielkuth, the Exterminator, or the Behemoth? The ship name.
The Behemoth.
Which of the following systems was a Panzer Dragoon game not released on? The Sega Saturn, the Xbox, the Game Gear, the Mega Drive, or the PC?
Mega Drive.
And last question, which of the following characters was the main character of the original Panzer Dragoon? Lundi, Gash, Sky Rider, Kyle, or Edge?
Kyle.
All right, let's see your score. Answer... Oh my god, you got 11 out of 25.
Alright, I'm gonna need to crack down on paying attention to this.
No worries. Yeah, it's, you know what? There was way more Saga in there than I expected. In fact, it's almost exclusively Saga.
Yeah. There's a lot of passion for that game, no doubt.
It also does not actually tell you what the right answers are. That's
what?
Dumb. It just says correct or incorrect. Oh, it's hailing outside. That's terrifying.
Next.
Wow, they're huge.
Oh man. What is it, baseball size or what?
They're kind of ping pong sized right now. Let's hope they stop for now.
Yeah. Okay, there's gonna be some laser fire coming up in just a bit that I can evade easily right there. We're basically going through the Empire City right now, and all the Empire... Actually, everything is on fire, getting shot right now because the forces of the Dark Dragon are attacking the city. Nice.
Just be sure to tell me about 15 minutes away from the ending where you are.
Right.
Presumably that'd be probably at the start of the last level, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the last level's coming up. And now I gotta make sure I survive here. Gotta shoot you down. Oh, no! Not this time.
You got this, dude.
I don't care. I got 2 credits. I'm on episode 7.
That's the last one?
Yeah, the last episode.
All right, I'll just tell Flame there that we are moving on to the last episode.
Right? So, of course, because the story demanded it, of course the Dark Dragon would get to the tower. And so, the Dark Dragon's gonna enter the tower and transform into... You'll see it in just a bit.
Oh, I want to see this thing. Please be a Mecha Dragon. Please be a Mecha Dragon. The words last episode are just so
A freaking huge dragon.
Yes.
Japanese style. It looks biomechanical.
Let me see this. It hasn't super appeared yet. Oh, huh. That's interesting.
Alright. So the way to deal with this is to, whoa, well, not get hit. Fire lock-on shots. Avoid its reflected shots. Avoid the tail and not get shot down like I just did.
Yeah, I could definitely see the idea of it being more like a Japanese style dragon. You get a little bit of that there.
Yeah. Well, I got all my health back at least.
Yeah, that's important for the final battle for sure. And if you die, you can just start from here, right?
Yeah, if I run up of credits, I can just input the level select code anyway.
Oh, so it's a code. It's not just a level select thing. Okay, that makes sense still.
Yeah, besides just, alright. Gonna make sure I do not get hit by his tail this time.
Yeah, I definitely see the biomechanical aspects of it. It's really interesting. It reminds me a lot of my absolute favorite part about Monster Hunter's lore, being the equal dragon weapon, which is basically where they took a bunch of elder dragons and just squished them together into a machine that's like a horrible freak of nature. Still waiting for that to be in a game, Capcom. Think we all are.
Oh.
The thing's super dope. Yeah, wow, this looks tough.
Okay, tail swing. Double tail swing.
Yeah, wow, your radar is just a flurry of yellow.
I have no idea what you're gonna do. I know somewhat. Oh! Ow! Damn! Alright. Safe state.
Wow, yeah, that did tons of damage. That did a lot.
Alright.
I would avoid that.
Yeah, I tried to do that, but the game just wasn't having it. The Japanese version of this game gives you a lot more credits if you choose normal. Alright. Just fire a lot of lock-on shots here. And also try to get rid of all those reflectors.
So as we're coming up on the end of the game, guys, please be sure to, again, try and donate if you are interested. It might not be get read off here, but it will definitely get read off over the next game there. Sonic and Sega, or Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. We have to remember it's not just a Sega game anymore.
That's what I
Ralph
get
is
for
there.
using a PS4 controller. It rotated the camera because those trigger buttons are way too big. Whoa. Okay, I survived. Yes!
You did it?
It's done.
Hey, nice job.
What? No!
Wait, what happened?
I
There's a
didn't
second
ask for
phase?
this. I didn't know that there was a second phase in hard mode.
Well,
Well,
here we go. Now we know. Panzer Dragoon in chat says ready for round 2.
ugh. Okay. Load state. This is gonna be bad.
I mean, you could just keep trying to do the perfect run of it, but... Oh, the doorbell's ringing. I'm just gonna run for a sec. You got this, though, dude.
Yeah. Oh no! Ugh. Oh, that was dumb. That was dumb. That was dumb. That was freaking dumb.
I'm back. Hello.
Yo.
You got this.
I'm just gonna play it smart and safe. Lock on, then fire, and move away.
Can you do that roll thing?
I tried to, but I just can't do it.
The double tap while holding the lock-on button? I mean, you are flashing in the red. Maybe it's not in hard mode. It could actually be that.
Maybe. Oh, you cheap bastard!
Oh, did he blindside you?
You tricked me.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that. That's unfair.
That was dumb too. Well, Deimos, you got your wish. I'm suffering.
I mean, to be fair, there was not too much suffering for the whole time otherwise, but yeah, no, now that we're here, you're right. This is I mean, at least this looks easier than the first phase, but at the same time, you come in with low HP, which sucks. I think we need serious time here.
I ran into him.
Oh, is there contact damage?
Yeah.
Dang.
That was smart.
Let's see here. So apparently, the dragon, the big dragon, is called the prototype dragon.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
There's actual lore that the blue dragon is essentially a virus sent into the tower and is essentially corrupted one of the dragons that goes to the tower. Half-Life. Also, humans could possibly get a chance of survival from whatever monsters the tower sends out. Man, this is hard!
Oh, you need to do the rolling attack. You can to do the rolling attack, you actually have to put in a code on the main menu.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm just reading here.
Yeah, you have to put in a one of those extra weapon codes.
Interesting. Apparently, there's also a Space Harrier mode where it's just Kyle on the screen.
Oh yeah, I fiddled around with that back in the day.
Huh.
I believe you also had to set your Saturn to German or something like that.
Oh, that's weird.
Unless I'm wrong, and it's completely different.
I'm just reading here. Yeah, it says first boot your Saturn up to the system screen, system menu, and change the language to German and start the game.
Oh, you cheap bastard!
After that, you have to put in a code. That is obscure. How do people even know how to do that?
Yeah, I think even game FAQs missed out on that little detail.
Yes, Red Shell Ray, we are using a emulator because, simply put, we don't have this game to run in any other form right now.
I mean, I did, but then I risked the game, like, crashing or something like that. Oh, you set up a barrier! That's not fair!
Sounds like the world's ending outside behind me. This is not good. Okay, I have to run and go check something because something fell over outside.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a sec.
Ah! You're not blindsiding me. Shit. What is this, red shell? So we hold the attack button and double tap any diagonal direction. Oh, that's not good. Shit. Guess I should have figured that this boss would be here on hard. Cheeky. Yes! Die! Whew. You're welcome, Deimos. And thus fulfills the incentive to make me suffer. And so, the result of our battle, Kyle is sent away from the tower while the dragon destroys it.
Hey, I came back and you did it. Whew. Nice job.
And Kyle wakes up in the desert alone. But oh wait, these footprints. The dragon brought you back. We are not doing Zwei next. It's not in the queue for games, unfortunately. But that was Panzer Dragoon, guys.
Awesome stuff. Hopefully that introduced a few people to that awesome series.
Maybe next time we run a SEGAthon or something like that. But if anything, if it's even possible for you guys, I recommend you getting a downloadable copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga and playing that, because you'll never experience anything like that ever again.
Awesome stuff.
So enjoy all this beautiful artwork set to the credits.
So yes, next up is Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I keep wanting to say Sega there, even though it's not.
Yeah.
Be sure to take a look out for the Panzer Dragoon stage, where you can go and you can clap and say, "Hey, I recognize that."
I kind of wonder how it would be if they included the Blue Dragon and Kyle in the game.
You know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if it was considered at one point, because I was talking with my good pal Kevin Eva, the old community manager, and they tried to get Echo the Dolphin in as a racer, where it would be you'd race on land in like a bubble of water, and then in the air on like manta rays, and in the water just as Echo. So there's some really cool ideas planned. They sadly did not get all of them in, but I remember him telling me that and saying I would kill for that. So honestly, I'm pretty sure Kyle on the Blue Dragon was considered at one point.
Yeah. At least it got a passing reference as one of the stages.
To be fair, I think the stage references are almost even better than the character references, because the stages have so much to them.
Yeah, and all the Panzer's voices were done by Japanese people.
I think that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was right for that question. Yukio Futatsugi.
yeah, well, because the other ones were all people we know otherwise.
I love that music. Rank sharpshooter. Don't tell them I used safe states on that, because I
The
wasn't
game
prepared.
can't tell. You're good.
I wasn't prepared for that second form.
You know what? Hey, there you go. You got the big surprises.
Hey, congratulations. What did I do? Besides beat the game on hard. Oh,
All right.
what's this?
Uwu, what's
Your
this?
skill in hard mode deserves a reward.
What are you unlocking?
What? I've never
Do
seen
you
this
get to
before in
see-
my life.
David Cage dancing?
The secret mode is now at your disposal.
That's what dreams are made of.
And what is the secret? Input the secret command.
Oh, why don't they just make it unlock? I hate that. I hate
Yeah,
where it's
I
like,
know.
you win a code. Better write it down or it's gone forever.
Left, LR, up, down, left, right. Print screen that. Well,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's obviously saved somewhere on the internet, but let's see. What does that unlock? I can check to see what that is.
oh yeah, 'cause it can't exactly go away from the screen. Well, I could, but
Let's see here. Cheat codes. That was LR. Up, down, up, down, up, down. That would be.
LR, up, down, left, right.
That is wizard mode. Yes.
Okay, so basically that will accelerate everything.
Yes, so it basically, the game runs much faster than normal. It does not work in the PAL version of the game, and it doesn't appear in the PC version either. There are many other codes for this game. There's a lot of codes.
Yeah.
I still can't believe there's a Space Harrier mode. That's super cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess we will just leave you with this beautiful music as we transfer everything over to Flaming Claw with Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed.
Yep. We will see you guys later. Ciao.
Ciao.